My name is Marissa Bloedoorn, and welcome to the Author's Corner. Happy New Year. I am super excited to be with you today to start the year off right. I'm here today. I'm going solo. I don't have a guest. It's just me talking to you. And I want to share with you, we're at the top of the year, and so we are in the Author's Corner. And I want to kind of intrigue you to start the year off right and start it with mindset. So, those of you who follow the Own It magazine, who are subscribers to the Own It magazine, you know that every month we have a particular topic that we focus on. And the reason why, as editor in chief, I take this approach is because it's a systematic way of ensuring that you get the results that you want. If you don't have a process or system in place, it's hard to one, stay the course, stay focused, and stay on path. And so, with a strategic approach to starting your year off right, you can measure it. You can see where you're going long term. And when you get off course, you can come back on, right? So, this month, starting the year off right, is all about mindset. And some of you may have heard this before and whatever, but listen to what I'm getting ready to say to you. Uh, Mindset is everything. And why is that? Because it's as a man thinks, so is he. And if you put your mind in the right place and you're open, always be open to learn, to be vigilant about what's out there that's going to improve you, take you to the next level. You want to be open to it. And so, as always, I do my research because I do get a little passionate about what I talk about. And I want to make sure that I'm driving my point home to you. Mindset is everything. September to December should have been a period of time where you were planning for this year. And so it should have been able to get you to a place where your mind is prepared for what you're getting ready to set out and achieve this year. And so I always, in September, from September to December, I'm always plotting and planning. I call it the reaping and sowing. So you're reaping based on what you've done for the year, September, and you're reviewing that. And then you're also getting ready to sow. So you're planning for the coming year. And so my challenge to you is, what have you already planned? Your authors. What have you already planned to do? And if you're not an author yet, you're either planning to become an author, you're sitting on the fence and saying, do I want to become an author or not? But what are you going to do? And having a plan and a strategy helps you to have your mind in the right place so that you're able to achieve all that you're set out to do. And then the reason why I'm saying this to you is because if you don't have a strategy and a plan, you are not going to see the results. So for me, case in point, in order for me to be in the position that I am today, to be able to work for myself full time, it took a plan and a strategy to get there. You can't follow every different, idea. You have to hone it in and say, what am I going to do with this year? What am I going to do? And how am I going to set in place the goals, the task, everything that's going to help me get from point A to point Z and transitioning, right? And so what I'm saying to you is to have your mind right. What is it that you want to accomplish? Identify that and then set out a course of action. And so, in some of the past videos that I've shared, some tips on what you want to do as an author, I want to charge you to this. Have you scheduled any events for the year around the book that you've published? If you're beginning to publish or you're thinking about publishing, have you done the research? Do you have your topic? What is it that you're preparing? What do you have in place that you're going to prepare so that every single month and every single daily, weekly, and monthly, you have goals that are going to get you to a place of accomplishment? And so I say that again. And so authors, I'll give you this tip before I go right into mindset and how you can transform and prepare that mind, is you have to create your own events. So you can, if you have the money, you can hire a PR team, and they'll do all your public relations work and get you out there. You're still going to have to show up as an author. Or you can, if you don't have the funds to hire a PR team, then you can figure it out yourself. You can do the research yourself. But the way that you set the tone for the year is identify events. How do you get yourself where you want to create your own events, create your own book signings? Like I said, I shared with you before, I had a sit down dinner. I had folks come. It was a book signing, but they came, they had dinner, they had music. I always have a DJ because I love to dance. So they had music, they had dinner, and then I spoke to them about the topic that was in my book, whatever the book was. I spoke about that topic. In one particular case, it was Sweetheart Before I Say I Do, which was really great because I had singles come out, I had couples come out, they had dinner, they had buffet style dinner. We did games. I had game hosts where we had the dating game, we had the newlywed game. And so then, like I said, we had the DJ, we had them dancing on the floor while I was signing books. We had a time where I spoke. Another event I had where it was me being interviewed. It was sit down. We had some refreshments. It's more interview lecture style, but we had that event too, and people purchase books today. You got to create your own agenda for the year, and you have to be intentional because as an author, it's up to you. You are a public speaker. So you should be getting speaking events based on the content of your book. And if it's not based on the content of the book, it's based on your specialization. So any experience that you have that you can author expertise in, but you have got to get out there and you're going to have to, in order for you to sell that book, you're going to have to get out there and do some things. And so I want to talk to you about mindset and why it's important to have your mind in the right place, a prepared mind. And so in doing my research, I always like to have some folks out there who have been speaking on the topic for a long time kind of confirm what I'm sharing with you myself. The prepared mind. A prepared mind, it captures a more general understanding that people who are knowledgeable and pay attention to chance events have a greater likelihood of making the most of them, including creativity. So you have to be creative because you are the CEO of your life, your career, your business, this whole book author thing and speaker journey. You are the CEO of this space and you have to start making executive decisions. And part of that is seizing the moment and being prepared to train your mind to be looking for opportunities. Look for people when you're having conversations. Make sure you're having conversations that will show you how you can either partner with the individual that you're speaking with, or how you can collaborate with them, or how you can glean from them and get knowledge from them. Find out what it is that you can get from those conversations and start being cognizant of your surroundings. Start looking for, I always say, this is how this is my secret sauce. It's like, Lord, reveal to me, show me what it is that you're trying to have me see in this situation or in this scenario. What can I benefit from it? And so you want to seize those opportunities and those moments. You want to be intentional. And the only way you can be intentional is you have to have an agenda. You have to know what it is what you need help with, what doors you need open. And the only way that you're going to have that is by doing that prepared time. Like I said, reaping and sowing. You want to, in September to December, you want to be figuring out, how am I going to do it based on last year, my experiences? How can I build and expand on those experiences? So it's very important. In order for you to have a prepared mind, you first must find calm. Some of the biggest challenges people have is being by themselves. And I know for me, the biggest opportunities that I have, the biggest awakening moments and strategy moments, is not being in a room with a bunch of people. It's really sitting back and doing introspective work, reflecting on the moments, that have happened during the course of the day. Feeding myself. I always like to feed myself with different lectures that are going to be based on the topics that I'm interested in. And so one of the things is calm yourself. You have to get to a place of calm. Manage your feelings to get the feel of the work. I say it's called discovery. So when you're finding your way in this, you wrote a book. I remember writing my very first book, and even though I wrote the book, I still had some levels of what am I doing with this, right? Does it feel like me? And the first work and the first thing that you're doing may not 100% feel like who you are as an author, as a writer, or as the CEO of your life, as as that chief executive. But guess what? It's the first level of discovery. So you're discovering yourself. So you wrote the first book, or you wrote the first piece. If you're in an anthology, you wrote that. So that first piece is like, wow, I did this. Oh my God. But if you keep at it, the more that you keep doing it, the more that you become clearer and clearer and clearer and more confident in the work. And then you get a feel for the work. And I can tell you that writing my first book, I believe was back in 2014 or 15. I can't even remember. Um, but writing that first book, like I said, came with a lot of insecurities of, does this really represent me? They say brand, but does this really represent me? And I didn't feel like the first book really represented me because I was walking a little bit on eggshells because you're nervous, right? You're nervous, you're concerned about how you're going to show up, you're concerned also about who's seeing you, visibility. You're concerned about that. So when you're writing, you're a little bit nervous. But then when you write the second one and the third one, and for me, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth one, after a while, you begin to gain confidence because now you've done it. You've done it. You've written, and now you're familiar and you're getting to know you a lot better. What makes you tick? What ticks you off? You really begin to define who you are, and in that definition of who you are, you begin to show up more. You begin to show up more in your authenticity, and that's why getting calm, taking the time to do the introspective work, being okay with being by yourself. And for me, it's allowing God, the Holy Spirit, to speak to me, to show me all that I'm meant to do, and show me my authentic self. So step one is getting calm. That to me is getting in a quiet place alone. Step two is managing your feelings to get the feel of your work. It's the feel of who you are, your authentic self, and what it is that you're bringing to the world. Three is gain perspective. The more that you sit in that calm place, the more that you're getting connected with your inner feelings, not what folks are telling you, not what people are feeding you, not that, what you organically yourself are feeling, and gain perspective. And the more that you do this, I'm telling you, becomes clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. And I like the scripture where it says, if any man lack wisdom, ask it of God who gives it liberally and upbraideth it not. I'm not trying to preach to you here. What I am telling you is what has worked for me. I have asked him to release the wisdom for me. Show me the strategy and plan that you have for my life. And I'm telling you, when you are open minded to receive new information, you are not judging the source, but you're looking at the content, or what the lesson is, or what you need to gain from it. You can be open and you can expand to so much more. You can gain clearer and broader and greater perspective. Number four is seek reality clearly, but hold it loosely. Why? Because sometimes when we do that, you got to think realistically. You block yourself from the creativity. So you want to be realistic, but you also want to make sure that you're free to tap into and unleash your unlimited potential and all that is possible for you as an author, right? And so step five is say seek tension between failure and fame. And so my thing with that is, listen, you know what? It goes back to step number two, get your emotions right. Don't worry about failure. Don't worry, don't get yourself so bogged down with feedback. that may be adverse to your heart. Like, so someone may say something to you. I had a gentleman, I remember delivering a speech. I had a gentleman, this was during Toastmasters, and I finished the speech. And I do a lot of speaking off the cuff. I don't like prepared speeches because it makes me feel a little phony. If it makes me feel rehearsed, let me say that. So I like to speak from my heart, and that's why I have to have notes like this. That's why I have to have I have to do my research, because I get so passionate about what I want to talk about and share, that I can go in a whole different direction, because God is just revealing things, revealing things, and I want to make sure that I stay on point. So I delivered this speech, and the way that I would always deliver my speeches for in my journey to distinguish Toastmaster was I would make notes. I would just have 3 points that I wanted to make. I did not contrive a whole speech, because that just did not feel good for me. And so I remember finishing this speech, and I went to sit down. And this gentleman, who I had the utmost respect for, because his speeches were always flawless. They were always, you can always depend on the clarity, point by point. And I just was an admirer of his, but with a sting. And I kid you not, with a sting, because he did not understand my gifting. So sometimes when you're in your gifting, people don't get it. And you have to be mindful that you have to be authentic to you. You cannot worry about pleasing other people, or you can't get yourself overly overwhelmed with some of the things that may come your way emotionally. And so I could have took that and said, "Oh my God," like it could have hurt, but I understood it. Because when you're operating in your gifting and it comes natural to you, other people look, because they have to work at what it is that you do naturally. They have to work at it. So sometimes it comes from a place of bitterness, and sometimes it comes with a place of, they just don't like you because you're showing up in your gifting. But you can't worry about that. You do your best to be humble. You do your best to be kind and considerate. But you are on a journey for you, not on a journey for everyone else. You're on a journey for you, and you're on assignment for all that God has you to do. And your gift is going to upset some folks. And once you tap into it and you're really natural with it is really going to upset some folks. But you can't be worried about that. Your mindset has to be, and you can't worry about failing or disappointment, because guess what? That's life. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. I remember speaking once, and the topic was so dear to me. I kept messing up. I kept messing up, and I'm in a room full of people, and it's not like you can hit rewind, you can hit erase. I'm in front of these people, and I am stumping it. I am not showing up like my energetic, high energy, on point person, because it was a topic that was really dear to me, and I didn't want to come across again phony or faking it. I didn't want to come across as selling it, and so in front of these people, I had to regroup. And I said to them, I said, "Could you please allow me to start again?" I was just totally honest with them. This is so close to me. I was speaking about my first conference, my first personal professional business development conference. And it was a pitch to the audience. And I just don't like pitching to an audience. I don't like selling anything that I don't believe in. And I knew I believed in the conference. I just felt like I was having to sell it for whatever reason. And so I had to get my mind right to connect with the value of what it was I was presenting. And in front of them, I was able to, instead of allowing, my shortcoming, my failure to show up, stop me, I just owned it. I owned that moment and said, "I'm plummeting here." And I could either go run to my chair and sit down and just bask in their sympathy and empathy for me, or I can turn this around. I can turn this around. And I did. I came back and I turned that around and delivered that speech with full authenticity because I grabbed hold of the value of what I was really presenting to the people. So, number 5 says failure and fame. You're going to have a lot of both. But like I said, have an agenda for the year. And it says show up. Show up. Don't hide being an author. And if you are an author, you are a speaker. So, in order for people to know about your book should be opening doors for you. Whether you are a single author or you are a contributing author to an anthology or body of work, you are a speaker as well. And you have to be searching out your community, searching out the organizations in your area. And you have to have an agenda to say, I'm going to show up this year. I have the mindset that I am going to show up this year every single month, at least once a month, either being on a panel discussion and promoting my book, or I'm going to create my own event, or I am going to speak with some folks to come in and speak. And you can always speak to a familiar group of people, of an organization, till you feel comfortable. If you're new at speaking, I always offer do Toastmasters International, find a club, and clubs are local. Go to, I think it's toastmaster.org. Go there, find a local club in your area, and start speaking there. You can start speaking there and you can build a network. So if, like I said earlier in the show, I said you want to be in the room where it happens, right? You want to be in the room where it happens, right? So when you're in the room where it happens at Toastmasters, and that you are with so many people with so many different backgrounds, so many different industries, businesses, organizations that, and they are like-minded. They are trying to establish themselves just like you are in this new area. Some of them it's new, and some of them have been at it for a long time. But Toastmasters gives you the opportunity to do the speaking. So you speak, you promote, and they give you feedback so that you know. The, the reason why Toastmasters is so important for an author is because it gives you practice consistently. The only gotta do is sign up to speak, and you don't even have to just speak at your club. Once you join it, you see other clubs in the area, and you can sign up to be on their agenda and to speak. And the more you speak, the more you kill that fear of speaking, and you feed your confidence. And the more that you're confident in this comfortable environment, you'll feel a little bit uncomfortable when you go out to the public for a little while. And I'll say this to you. I started off Toastmasters because of working on my PhD. And yes, I'm still working on it, but God has done some incredible and amazing things in the interim of that I'm not even worried about the doctorates anymore. That will get done. But being in Toastmasters allowed me the opportunity to speak so much. I have spoken before hundreds of people. And so that's a good feeling because I can speak off the cuff. You can say, hey, Marissa, come up here and, talk to us about blah, blah. I'm speaking to you off the cuff right now. And all of that training came from all of my past experiences, being always open-minded to learning from an experience and not feeling like I've learned it all, I know it all. I never enter into a room or a situation where I know it all. I don't want to know it all. I always want to remain humble enough and teachable enough so that I can always evolve as a person, as a coach, as a mom, as a friend, as a sister, auntie, whatever, as grandma. I want to always be in a position to be open minded to learn learn and to receive. It's so rewarding to be open-minded because you can glean from people. People that you've not met yet can teach you something you've never known. And then you have a new experience. And so mindset is everything. So step 6 says show up. You need to show up. I say when you are fully confident, show up and show out. Give the people what they came for. Bless them. Bless them with the fullness of you, your authenticity, and everything you were created to be. And then step 7, it says seek and find problems, problems that you were created to resolve. And that gives you opportunity. So, really, what that's saying is seek opportunities. Seek where what you desire to do with life and how you desire to help people, that you showing up actually helps them, actually helps them to solve their problems. Because seeking to find problems is so that you can solve them or actually be a contribution to solving them, right? And so I just want to say to you, mindset is everything. Strategy gives you purpose. When you have a strategic plan, and when I say strategic plan, I don't mean this grandiose, you got this whole black whiteboard written all up and this. No, just a strategy. If you're gonna write a book, go ahead and say, I'm gonna write it by this amount, this time, and this is how I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna design the book, and this is what the book is gonna be about. Or if you've already written the book, these are the places I really see my book for benefit. Sit back and say, where can my book be a benefit? Or where can I be a benefit? And my book just opened the door for me. I'm a published author, blah, blah, blah. And then another thing I want to say to you, if you're already published and your book is on Amazon, I highly recommend that you start going out to those people who support you and ask them to give you 5 stars, to review your book and give you 5 stars. Let's get some 5 stars up there. Let's get folks evaluating your book. Let's bring some attention and attraction and visibility to your book again. And so if you don't have 5-star ratings on your book, go and get some of the people that value you, love you most, and get them to rate your book. Get them to rate your book and say a little something about what they got as a result of reading your book. I just want to say, my name is Marissa Bloedoorn. I am the editor-in-chief of Own It Magazine and Publishing Company. We publish 3 issues per month, 3 different magazines per month. And we're also now publishing books. So we're really excited about that. And I want to share with you really quickly, which I don't do. I never really promote what we do at Own It, but I just want to share with you. We have the Own It anthology. Here's the cover for that. Beautiful, beautiful cover. I love the boldness of the tiger. You'll be seeing me with this tiger a lot because I love the tiger. So go get her. It's a hunter, gets it done. And so we will be having, so it's the Own It anthology. It's 57 authors that we've come to a place where we are finishing up, wrapping up the last drafts of the book, and super excited about that. That anthology is taking us to a retreat in the Dominican Republic. As you can see, I am scaling down all my little fancy backdrop stuff is gone. I'm getting ready to leave the U.S. and go back to the Dominican Republic. So we're going to be having our conference and retreat at the Dominican Republic, April 26th through the 30th. We are going to be partying like rock stars. So the first night we're going to meet and greet. We're going to have some games and fun night. The second day we'll have a full excursion. The third day we're going to have keynote panel discussions and breakout sessions. The fourth day, the same thing. And then the fifth day, we will have a keynote brunch, and we will be saying adios to one another. But we are going to be jamming. We're going to be jamming and having a funky good time during this time. Anyone who has come to a conference or come to any of my events, we not only do we get fed, empowered, knowledgeable, but we party like rock stars. We love to have a good time. I love to work hard and play hard. And so if you want information if you want to register for the Own It Anthology Conference and Retreat in the Dominican Republic, go to TCS Consulting LLC.com. You'll see all the details and information there. You can register there. Registration is only $97. The conference is free for our contributing authors, of course. But those who are coming, the conference is only $97. If you would like to book the retreat and hotel, just reach out to us, reach out to me directly at ownitanthology@gmail.com, the ownitanthology@gmail.com, and we will connect and we'll get you all set up there. So anyway, without further ado, mindset is everything. Remember, if you want to get more visibility, the Own It Magazine and Publishing Company is here to help you do that. Reach out to us again at interview me, at gmail.com, and we would love to talk to you and get you in the magazine, published, and visibility and live interviews. We love you. Take care. Wish you the best week. Start your year off right with the right mindset. Take care. I am out.